Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Emergence Day Season 2, Week number 3. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble, joined by Ryan, a.k.a. Ryan Foles. We are now well underway in semifinals. We have Reciprocity versus Rise playing it out right now before you. Reciprocity already leading 1-0 in total overall round count. Looking solid. We got Training Grounds, which is Rise's pick, District, Reciprocity's pick, and then to round us all out will be Bunker if we get there, if one team doesn't dominate the other. Overall, though, Reciprocity looking pretty good. They've got B and C. They've also got one round in their inventory and Training Grounds. Great map to watch. We haven't seen it tonight, but I'm excited to see how it's going to play out overall. And Drix, he's got a long way to go, and he's got a couple players looking his way. Unfortunately, it's not going to work out.
Yeah, we've seen Rise Nation pick this map in the past, a map they definitely feel confident on. Fortunately for them, their opponent, Reciprocity, also a team that I feel is pretty strong on Training Grounds as well. One thing that's, to me, pretty strong about Reciprocity is that they have just a pretty deep map pool. I think that gives them sort of an advantage over some other teams in sort of that top-tier echelon. So Rise Nation definitely do not want to give Rec an opportunity to kind of take their map pick away from them early, because we've seen, and maybe not always in the UMG studio, but we've seen in Gears how difficult it can be sometimes if you give up your map pick early, and it looks like Rec are so far on their way, first round on the board. They had that 2-cap. You see Rushies sort of sitting in that God corner, just waiting for someone to hop on B, just has that line of sight, waiting. They're just chilling right now, Taylor, for the lack of a better word.
Yeah.
They've already built about a 55, 60-point lead and growing. Guys got to make a move soon.
But see, you know, go back to whenever they were playing against, I believe it was earlier Mazer, right? I mean, they were playing really well. Yeah, off the initial, they were down, but they found a way to slay out. Now, Training Grounds, though, it's a bit more spread out, so the opportunity to do that isn't necessarily there. Shock definitely probably wanted that kill, and he was sitting in the corner. He definitely took Rushies by surprise. Rushies, though, he's on fire. He took out, of course, 1 and 2, but he can't get the third. That's going to be all right, though. Damage was still done. That's going to be 2 players down onto the side of Rise. Do they even spawn up? I don't think they do. Damage has already been done. Reciprocity easily going to take this round. That's going to put them 2-0 up against Rise.
Reciprocity just getting chunked at the end for good measure. Kenny hitting them with that emote. Reciprocity off to another hot start. Talk about how Rise Nation's looked very much improved lately. It doesn't take away the fact that Reciprocity has, for the last few weeks, looked like sort of the top dog, right? I mean, dethroning, so to speak, NRG in back-to-back weeks. You got to feel like they're going to be good no matter sort of what the situation is, right? No matter what sort of how many rounds you throw at them, whatever's in the map, right? They have been a team that has been very strong. They've been grinding. They've been putting in that work. And except I think we all sort of still are hoping we get that sort of rematch, but they got to get through this Rise Nation team first. See how Rise decides to bounce back.
Yeah, Rise definitely needs to bounce back here. Last week, it didn't go well for Rise. Granted, you know, they played against Reciprocity as well, but it still, the end result was not that good. Reciprocity taking it very, very well in a very dominant fashion overall. Maybe this week will be different, but it's not looking too promising, at least at the start. Still a lot to be done. And Rushies will be the first we'll pay attention to. He hops straight onto Bravo. He doesn't waste any time. He's got Lancer Fire going his way. He's going to go down, but now it's up to Reciprocity to kind of form up behind him. Despite him going down, can they stop Rise from overtaking Bravo? This leads them for an opportunity to maybe lead Rise into maybe being overly aggressive and then takes them out in the meantime. But overall, we are going to pay attention over to the left. Icy's going to have a couple of players from Rise applying that pressure. Vexy's going to be onto him, and he's going to take him down. And Rise won't stop there. They're not going to push over towards Alpha, and Franchise now is going to be the guy to try and pick up where Icy left off. He's going to go ahead and back up, though. I totally agree with that play. No reason to just throw your life away. Go ahead and reset, recover, and maybe focus your attention over towards C. You know, a lot of pressure has been applied onto that bottom side. And maybe that's why Rezik is backing up. Maybe he fears the fact that Reciprocity could be pushing over towards Charlie. If they do, he wants to be ready for him.
Yeah, I like that kind of decision made by Rise Nation. They kind of isolated Icy over there, kind of won that 3v1 fight, got the numbers, and they noticed that Fran was sort of backing off. So they basically just instantly, instead of moving towards B, noticed that there was just not enough players from Reciprocity waiting and just took the home hill, right? That's going to give them an opportunity now to sort of close this time lead. They're going to have a time lead before they know it, and more importantly, it forces Reciprocity out of their setup, right? It forces them away from that B hill, and now if you Rise, even if you kind of give up the Reciprocity home at the very least, you can at least try to maybe make your rotation over towards B, but it looks like with the use of an Incend Powers, has kind of been that catalyst. Started it off and quickly gotten their home hill back. Vexi's answers back with a kill on the rush. But again, this play was about Rise Nation opening up an opportunity for B, and it looks like as of right now, that has not happened. They've instead actually looked to hit that home hill. You're going to see them heading back over towards C. Fran going to decide to maybe flip the map instead, working his way over towards the Rise Nation home hill, but is going to first try to get Drix off of the spot. This is the first shot. Drix puts him kind of on his toes and ends up taking him out with the help of Detox. I think Fran would have liked to maybe have that first shot back a little bit, change that fight around, but in the end, it is Rise Nation. Kind of like that play, Taylor, that put me on my toes, right? You think that they were going to go towards B, and they actually hit the home hill for a second time, but Rec definitely on their toes, and now they find themselves in control. They're with the lead as we sort of eclipse that 200 mark.
Imagine if Fran would have hit that first shot right. He probably would have been able to pick off 2 players from Rise, and that would have been a great advantage to continue working his way around the map. Now you see bodies just being thrown straight into Rise, and Reciprocity knows, hey, at this point in time, if we're going to win, we got to break C. We already are breaking B. That's in our favor, but it's not going to be enough. We've also got to get control of C. 3 go down to the side of Reciprocity. Powers and Franchise are going to be the only ones up. Franchise will drop, and that's going to be all she wrote. Rise will, in fact, be able to take their first round. They lost 2 in a row. That's okay. But now it's time to kind of start regrouping and maybe taking the fight in their own hands. Good stuff from Rise, turning things around. It took a little bit to get there, but now we head into round number 4. Let's see who's going to be able to take it. Looking at the stat line, very even. This is probably the most even in terms of elimination based from the other previous rounds we saw in round number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to see incense on both sides. The trees are being built. Powers eyeing the center line maybe, or maybe he's waiting to build on his own side. Instead, he's going to actually choose to probably mirror him with a flashbang. So a little extra utility on each side. Got one of those incense. Keep in mind on the sides till they're only one to start off with. You saw Powers kind of use that to his advantage in the last round. Use that as an opportunity to get Rise off of his home hill. Unfortunately for Reciprocity, Rise basically just doubled right back and took the home hill. You're going to see Rush once again getting aggressive on that B hill. We've seen him do that a number of times. Just instantly hops right on. Rezik is there waiting, though. Doesn't let Lightning strike twice and takes him out with that Incen.
And I feel like that's going to be a big win, right, for Rezik. Taking over that victory. B is now still neutralized. And at this point in time, Rise, they've got good power positioning onto Bravo. If they allow just Franchise to maybe push it, if they're able to take out Franchise at this point, that's going to open the floodgates for them to pressure onto B. Unfortunately, not going to be the case. Power's a good overhang for some Lancer Fire on a player just down below, and now the pressure is going to be onto Rezik. Let's see if Rush is able to capitalize in this moment. That's going to be one down. Full red. Eventually going to get dropped and finished by Drix. But in the meantime, though, Rise answering back onto Bravo. Another instance going to be placed in. Not going to matter, though. Rise should be able to get it. No! Detox, he pulls out. And unfortunately, B is going to be neutralized. Reciprocity, they're going to get C, and they're now threatening Bravo. And there's no way that Drix is going to be able to get Kenny off of this hill. Reciprocity will take control, but it was a long-fought battle.
Yeah, you're going to see, especially as the Rise Nation members started to fall, there's not a ton they could do. Reciprocity finding themselves once again with that B hill. Their lead continuing to extend. Detox in near kill feed, taking out Kenny. Could we see maybe a little bit of the same from Rise Nation? The last time we saw them sort of ignore B and make their way over towards the home hill and actually do it twice. Definitely saw a little bit of success with that strategy before. You're going to see Icy just watching over, waiting for someone from Rise. Looks like, once again, that other side of the map, Taylor, is sort of to their advantage. It's the second time now we've seen Reciprocity gain control of the B hill. Rise Nation kind of winning the other side, and that's sort of almost giving them an opportunity now to push right through to get the neutral hill themselves.
French has been in this position before. Let's see if he can capitalize. He's going to go ahead and get hit for the time being. Still, pressure's going to be applied with the snub. He continually pushes back Rise. That's going to be one. Can he get the second? No, Kenny's going to be in the back, though. Kenny now has to take up the slack. Can Avexis get 2? Yes, he can. And Avexis once again turns up. How many times have we seen this man do just that? He goes for the bait onto Rushies. He puts him on the back pedal, and that's a good win from Rise. Now they're going to take over control. They already had it right with A and B, but such a turn-up play for Avexis. Round number 2 is about to quickly be underway with more players from Reciprocity this time, but already at the Lancer, he softens them up.
Here comes the counter push coming in from Reciprocity over towards that same side of the map that Rise Nation saw some success on. You're going to see Avexis, after getting that big 2-piece, start to retreat. The push is starting to come in. The decap on B is completed. Icy and Rezik going to get a trade with Incense. That's something that you see super often, right? 2 balls of fire on the map. that's a big break for Reciprocity at the very least. They still hold a slight lead. You're going to see Drix try and get on there. He's going to be chased down by his former teammate Powers. Shock on the other end is going to take out Franchise. Powers gets the kill. And the decap comes in. That's a huge break for Reciprocity.
Oh,
Kenny
but
gets one.
is dead.
That's fine, though. They have the B hill where towards the end, right? You're getting to the point where that one hill is going to be all you need. Kenny versus Rezik. Kenny just trying to waste some time.
That's
waiting
huge.
for Rezik to get around. Makes him pay. Wins the 1v1. Reciprocity in the last 30 seconds made play after play. Did what they needed to do. And they extend that lead to a 3-1. And Franchise gives Shock a nice little headshot to end the round on a good note.
Awesome job, and not a moment too soon. The reason why I kind of hinted at the fact that we lost Rushies because he was out of lives at that point in time. If that would have happened earlier in the round, that could have been absolutely devastating. But good job for Reciprocity, maintaining composure and staying alive as much as they did.
A big part of that play that probably goes unnoticed is actually, we kind of highlighted because it was just sort of funny, but the double incend kill on each other, that took Rezik off of that spot that overlooks the hill. So while Icy, you know, is kind of in vain, Icy ended up dying himself, that basically gave Reciprocity a very, very clean break onto the neutral hill, and that was sort of the catalyst to let them move forward and win that round. Now we're on a new initiative. You're going to see Detox going to be stunned. Reciprocity can get the drop. You see the counter flash come in. That should give them the revive. Trade starts to come in on each side. Kenny and Fran get a couple kills. You're going to see Detox in the feed as well. Rise Nation looking strong, though. Kenny's going to get taken out by his own teammate's grenade. Powers going to try to make up for it. Equalize the odds. Gets one. Source starts to reset. He's the last remaining member alive. He needs to get on the hill.
Got it.
He's his teammates remember to spawn,
Nice.
and Powers wins the 1v1 on the
Nice.
Shock and gets the hill back. What a play from Powers when they needed it the most. Now Reciprocity can come back at full force. We are in the first round of the second half. That means the respawns are very, very long right now. You're going to see three members of Rise Nation heading over towards that neutral hill. Powers kind of identifies it, starts to move back himself, but he has reinforcements this time. He has players waiting. Kenny gets one. Powers pushing forward.
That's
Gets
big.
a second. A third one is there waiting. Look at the distance he's playing. Powers
Nice.
playing that just so perfect.
Wow, that's 4 in a row.
4 dead. Shock is the last alive at the very least. Taylor, because these are long spawns, Rec has a nice route right to the hill. Shock gets one, but it's not going to flash everyone. You're going to see the collapse come in. The final fight is going to begin. I don't know if he knows that Rushies is there waiting for him. Drix is going to get his head ripped clean off. Here comes the trip cap. Detox tries to get that last second touch. He does. He gets chunked. Avexy's going to likely meet the same fate.
Yep.
Just like that. Reciprocity looking so strong. 4-1, just taking absolute command of Rise Nation's map pick. And this is looking honestly a lot like we've seen in this matchup in the past.
And it all started with Powers, right? Powers was the deciding factor, staying alive as much as he did. He ended up finishing off in the total during that entire comeback. Of course, it was 2 to keep himself alive and allow Reciprocity to come through for at least for reinforcements. But after that, he follows up with 2 more players on the Rise Nation. Good stuff from Powers, and then obviously Rushies to help in the end, and the full squad from Reciprocity to congeal together to bring it 4-1. And when you're, obviously we talked about it, right? No longer are we going to this best of 13 right now. It's the best of 9, and now you got Reciprocity at this point, 1 round away from taking over the victory. And Rise, they've got to be thinking, what can we do differently to stop Reciprocity? What can we do differently to stop the 2 back-to-back champions from the mid of Reciprocity? And there's not a lot you could say, right? There's not a lot you could do, and this break is going to start it off. Rushies, he's feeling good from the last round when he picked up 4 players from Rise. So many stuns and shocks coming through, but nobody able to connect. Rushies pushes in, though, and 1 is going to go down, and he manages to at least get another one off to the back of Franchise. Rise now thinking, what do we got to do at this point? So many players now bunched up together, and that is definitely a great initial win for the team of Reciprocity.
And they're trying to move forward, too. They get that E-heal. You can see them edging over towards D. I think they know that it's a little too late, but a great initial coming in from Reciprocity. Looking so strong on training grounds thus far. See Rush up in that spot, just overlooking everything on the map, right? You can just see so many lines of sight from up there. I think they definitely identify where that push is going to come from, right? Rushies just has eyes on everything. You're going to get so much initial damage. It's going to get to Rise Nation to kind of throw some good flashbangs, right? Get some good utility in there if they're going to move forward. Otherwise, they're just going to be met by a firing range of Reciprocity members. Here it comes. Vexies. There goes the first one. Rush still unaffected, waiting for it. He gets one. They have 2 Lancers on him. Meanwhile, his teammates in the feed are going to make the other members of Rise Nation pay. They know to try to cut their losses. This is not going to be a favorable fight, but Reciprocity continues to apply pressure. Look at them moving forward. Rushies goes and gets that annoying little angle right behind him in pillars. There's just nowhere they can go. They're being taken out in every single side of the map. There's 2 members off spawn. Rushies making his way to D. Knows that Vexy's right there. Tries to meet him there. And he makes him pay. Hits him with a beautiful up A.
Finally, he dies. Ryan, I think he took out 7 members of Rise in conjunction with Flash Ram in this round without dying.
Look at
I'll
Powers.
take those math any days of the week, right? You have 1 life and you take out 7 and just return it. Powers, like you said.
Powers is just terrorizing his former team.
And this is the guy that obviously kept the team alive in the last round, and he continues to slay out as well. The respawn economy is starting to dwindle on the side of Rise. Vexy's on his last life.
Where you came from.
Detox, if he spawns up now, he does. He's going to be on his last life. It is quickly falling apart for Rise. It doesn't even matter. Reciprocity in the driver's seat. Rise, there's nothing they can do to stop them. And Reciprocity will easily solidify game number 1, 5-1 scoreline to push us into game 2. And I just want to point out, and I really want to highlight this, and I want to let this sink in. Training Grounds was Rise's map pick, and Reciprocity just took it 5-1 on the map pick for Rise.